Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis for big mega cap stocks. So show your support by hitting that thumbs up button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing, and that means a lot to me. Now, if you want to get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, my analysis in 3 days of live trading, definitely check out the Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Apple, stock is down 0.45%, and look at this move here on Apple, getting under 190 but not staying under 190, and that is the indication that Apple wants to run higher, especially up to this gap, at least in the short term, 195.28. So Apple, as long as this thing can hold above 190, stay bullish for more upside up to 195.28, and then possibly a fresh new all-time high. Now, if this thing somehow breaks below 190, that is when things will change, and Apple can come down here to 186 to fill this gap all the way down here, and then we also have support down here at 183. So Tesla stock going up 2.38% and finally getting that bullish breakout over 241 and now holding 241 as a support. So on a pullback, now that Tesla trading above all these moving averages right here on this daily chart, and that is looking extremely bullish going into next week. So watch out for a pullback. If there is one, then you want to watch Tesla actually coming down and holding above 239 to 241. Because if that gives up, this will not play out and this thing will come down. We still have this gap down here, so this thing will come down, and the next support below 239, you want to watch 227 right here, 227.45, and then this gap 225.40. Now Tesla can hold this week, especially around 239 to 241. That is gonna be a bullish breakout for more upside, possibly next week all the way up to 252 and then even higher. On Amazon, stock is down 1.53%, getting down to 141.50 and now trading at 143.90. So we got this gap right up here around 145. So watch out, if this thing actually runs tomorrow, it might be closing this gap and find resistance around 145. We also have strong resistance at 146. And why? I mean, look at this, guys. 1, 2, 3. 3 times 4 around 146. Just recently getting rejected, and every time this thing gets rejected from 146, look at the dump off from 146 down to 118. Again, right here, 3 times getting above 146, but not clearly breaking out above 146. And now, if this thing cannot break 146, you're going to see at least a dump off down to 138 and then this gap 133.57. So Amazon tomorrow to the upside, you want to watch this gap around 145 and then resistance at 146. To the downside, you want to watch the support right down here, 142.84, and below that this thing can dump, and that is why we saw that buying today, because if this thing stays below 142.84, that opens the door for a dump off all the way down to 138 and possibly coming down and filling this gap at 133.57. So Amazon, this has to break 146. If not, within maybe 3 to 4 weeks, this thing will come down right here to close this gap 133.57 unless we get that breakout above 146. And Amazon can hold 146, then watch out for a move all the way up to 150 plus on Amazon. On Google, stock it's up 0.5%, and look at this dip buying here on Google. 5-day moving average right here, this blue line sitting at 137.71 and exactly down to this blue line right here, low for the day, and the dip was bought up and now it's trading at 138.62. So the next stop here on Google, 140 and then 142. To the downside, you want to watch around 137.71, and only if that gives up here on Google, then watch out for a dump off down to 135 and then this gap down here 134. On Meta, it's down 0.88%, and Meta holding above, rising 5-day moving average right here, this blue line, sitting close to 336. And this is going to be your line in the sand right here on Meta. 336 gives up, you're going to see a dump off down to 330 and then 326. Above 336, this thing can move back up all the way up to 343, 345, and then 350. On Microsoft, it's down 1.16%, and now it's trading below 375. So on Microsoft, you want to watch 375. If this thing actually cannot break and hold 375, you're going to see a dump off down to 366, and below that, things can change on Microsoft, and you're going to see a deeper pullback down to this gap 357.54 and then 355. If this thing can actually hold 375 right here, and we get that breakout tomorrow, then watch out for a new, fresh all-time high on Microsoft. And who knows, we might be going all the way up to 388, and that is going to be a big breakout above 375. But that needs to happen here on Microsoft. If that happens tomorrow, then watch out. Definitely, there will be another fresh new all-time high here on the stock. On Nvidia, stock is down 0.92%, and the CEO came out with some cooked up numbers and they beat on earnings, but the stock is doing absolutely nothing. But I think it's already priced in right here. This run up over $100 was already priced in for this earnings, and now this thing is flat. So tomorrow, Nvidia can actually get above 502.66, then watch out for a move up to 505.48, and then possibly up to even 530. If this thing stays under 502.66, then watch out for a dump off down to 496 and then 482. On Netflix, absolutely flat on the day. And tomorrow, if this thing actually gets a pullback, which I think Netflix actually needs a pullback, this thing is extremely overbought. RSI getting up to almost 80 on the daily chart, and this one here going up again today up to 477. So on a pullback, you want to watch 470 to 468 as a support, 5-day moving average right here. And below that, you're going to see a dump off all the way down to 450. To the upside, as long as this thing can hold above 468 to 470, you're going to see continuation to the upside, and things can stay overbought. And this one can run all the way up to 485 and then 500. On AMD, it's down 1.95% and now trading above 118. But what's interesting here on AMD, again, getting down to 118, getting slightly under 118, and then we saw that bounce on AMD coming right back up and now trading at 119.16. So tomorrow, this is going to be your key level to watch on AMD, 118. And only if that gives up, you're going to see a dump off down to 115. AMD can stay above 118. The next stop, definitely this thing can move higher up to 122.94 and then 125. This Bollinger Band on top already expanding, so I think the next stop, as long as this thing can hold above 118, you're going to see the next stop, and that is 125 on AMD. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.